Welcome back to the channel, friends. Buying a home? Awesome. You're officially adulting, making some big life moves and throwing down some roots. But what comes with buying a home? Well, a whole lot of interest. And not the fun kind like, I'm interested in your house. I'm talking about mortgage interest. The kind that slowly siphons money from your wallet over the next 30 years. Let's start with a small history lesson on mortgages in the US. Ever wonder where the heck the amortization table came from? Or why 30 years became the magic number for paying down a house? Let's start with the word amortization. It actually comes from the old Latin and French roots meaning to bring to death. Yes, to kill. As in you're slowly killing your loan balance over time. The amortization table is that little chart your lender sends you when you close. The one that says, hey, here's a breakdown of how your mortgage will get paid over the next 30 years. And guess what? It changes. It changes slowly, but it changes. Here's how it works. Every monthly payment you make is a mix of two things. Interest, what the lender earns, and principal, what actually pays down the loan. And spoiler alert, in the beginning, most of your payment is interest. Why? Because they know that the average homeowner does not live in this home forever. And they're not going to bank on getting their interest payments 20 to 30 years from now. So way back in the day, pre-1930s, mortgages in the US were nothing like they are today. You get a short-term loan, maybe 3 to 5 years, pay only interest, and then boom, a giant balloon payment in the end. You had the option of refinancing, and hopefully you still had a job, selling, or paying it off. Then the Great Depression hit. People couldn't make those balloon payments. Foreclosures everywhere, total mess. So the government stepped in with Fannie Mae in 1938, and suddenly there was this idea. What if we make mortgages affordable and predictable? Enter the 30-year fixed mortgage. Why 30 years? Because it stretched payments out just enough to keep them manageable for the average American family. Long enough for affordability, but short enough to still be alive when it's paid off. So now, when someone says they're getting a 30-year mortgage, it's not random. It's the result of economic chaos, government intervention, and a bunch of math nerds who figured out how to kill the loan slowly.
I work with a bunch of nerds.
And if you're in the US, consider yourself lucky. We're one of the only countries in the world to offer 30-year fixed mortgage products.
Really? Really?
So moving on, let's talk a little bit about how it's different from the other debt that you have. First, the interest on a mortgage is simple interest, not compound interest. That's important. With credit cards, your interest compounds. That means you're getting charged interest on your interest. If you carry a balance, the credit card company adds the unpaid interest onto your total and then charges you more interest on that new interest. It snowballs fast. That's why missing a payment on a credit card can feel like getting body slammed by your own wallet. Yeah! But mortgages, they're more civilized. They're using simple interest, calculated on your remaining loan balance called the principal. You're only charged interest on what you still owe, not on what you already paid, and not on any unpaid interest. It's consistent, predictable, and a lot easier to manage, especially if you're proactive about paying it down. So let's say you borrow $300,000 at 7% interest. That 7% is annual simple interest based on your current loan balance. The lender takes that yearly rate, divides it into monthly chunks, and applies it to the principal you owe at that time. But here's the catch. Your first payment isn't a nice, even split. Not even close. Early on, most of your monthly payment goes to interest, while only a tiny bit chips away at your loan. Yeah, that's not fun. For example, your first payment might be $2,000. Of that, maybe $1,750 goes to interest and only $250 goes towards paying down your loan. But here's the good news. Check out my previous video on a few ways to hack the system. There are ways that you can battle the banks and save money on total interest paid. I highly recommend this if you can swing it. Things like bi-weekly payments, rounding up, one extra payment a year, and more. If you make extra payments, say you throw in an extra $100 towards principal each month, you're shrinking your loan balance faster. That means that less interest gets charged the following month. Your total payment doesn't change, but the principal interest calculation does. And more of your money will go towards principal, taking years off your mortgage. In turn, saving you from paying that interest we all hate so much. Keep in mind, if rates drop and your credit looks good, refinancing can be a powerful tool. Just make sure it makes sense for your situation. Don't refinance because your buddy Chad did. Ask me to run some break-even calculations for you, and let's make sure it makes sense for you and your family. Bottom line, Mortgage interest isn't compounding interest, which is good news, but it still adds up fast if you're not paying attention. The sooner you lower that balance, the less interest you pay in the long run, and the faster you build equity and real wealth. If this helped clarify how mortgage interest really works, hit that like, subscribe button, and please drop a comment below if you have some time. And if you ever want me to run a custom example using your numbers, that is what I'm here for. As always, thank you so much for watching. I look forward to seeing you on the next video.